I sat outside my own lake house, hearing 40 people celebrate my divorce. My sister raised her glass. We're celebrating that this family finally has room to breathe again. 3 weeks later, I walked back in with proof I owned the house. Comment when you knew. Subscribe. I'm Renee, 34, a structural engineer. I check whether buildings hold what they claim to. Oldest of two, I learned early that being needed felt close to love. 3 years before that party, I bought my family's lake house outright. $412,000, my name on the deed. At closing, my grandfather set a manila folder on the table, rubber band cracking, like setting down something heavy carried a long way. I didn't ask what else was inside. I just filed it. I did it because being useful felt like being safe. My mother managed our image like a business, carefully and never for free. Marissa was the favorite. Never organized a holiday, never paid a vendor, never signed a closing document. My father agreed with whoever spoke last. One contact sat quiet in my phone, D. Voss, ESQ, my late grandfather's attorney, saved out of habit, nothing more. I was the infrastructure. Marissa was the return everyone invested in. Nobody asked who kept the lights on. They just assumed it, the way you assume gravity. It started small. I covered the down payment as a loan, no paperwork, just a wire transfer and a promise. Within a year, my mother quietly filed the house under the Hargrove Family Trust. I signed without reading closely, the way you sign things from people you trust by default. Some part of me already knew not to ask. Then my marriage ended, and the blame landed on me. I'd scared him off by always needing to be right about everything. My mother started hosting holidays at the lake house without telling me the dates had moved. I stopped getting invited. Easier without the tension, she said, like the tension was something I'd brought instead of survived. Then I noticed the property tax notices had stopped coming to my address. Nobody mentioned it. I let it go, the way I'd let everything go. Then the party. 40 guests, a $6,200 catering bill, half charged to an account I still co-owned. I found out from a deleted group photo someone forgot to make private fast enough. Me, conspicuously absent. Marissa, mid-toast, glowing. A cousin asked, off camera but not off mic, why I wasn't there. Marissa laughed. We're not celebrating her divorce. We're celebrating that this family finally has room to breathe again. I sat with that sentence for 3 full days before I did anything at all. I pulled the county property records the way I pull site reports. Alone, at my kitchen table, 11 at night. The trust had taken title 14 months earlier. My name, removed. $412,000 in value, now listed jointly under my mother and Marissa. Underneath, a forwarded email from my mother, sent the week my divorce finalized. The house is finally ours. Free and clear. I didn't cry. I locked my phone and counted how many times I'd called that house home since I'd stopped being welcome in it. If you've ever covered a family expense with no paperwork, check whose name is on it tonight. Next, Uncle Desmond walks back in. Subscribe. I called D. Voss. He picked up on the second ring, like he'd expected this call for 3 years. He was my grandfather's attorney, the man who'd structured my payment as a documented loan before he died. He still had the folder. My mother's weapons are warmth and guilt, I told him. Mine are a folder and a registrar. A pause. It's handled. The deck was strung with lights. 40 guests in lawn chairs. Marissa mid-toast toward the water. I came up the gravel path unannounced, folder under my arm. She didn't see me until she finished. We're not celebrating her divorce. We're celebrating that this family finally has room to breathe again. The deck applauded. I set the folder on the table. The rubber band snapped. A small dry sound that carried over 40 conversations until there weren't 40 conversations anymore, just the lake against the dock. My mother recovered first. Warmth. Sweetheart, not now. Guilt. After everything we've done for you. Then tears, sudden and theatrical. Then rage. How dare you embarrass us? I didn't answer. I turned another page. That's when Desmond came up the path, a single page in hand, and introduced himself as the attorney who'd handled the original 2023 transfer. Proof this house was purchased outright by me, the loan later reclassified into a trust without my knowledge or signature. He read the deed number aloud. Nobody moved. I looked at my mother, steady, not angry. "You're right," I said. "This family finally has room to breathe." Starting with the room I paid for, nobody clapped. A chair scraped against the flagstone, and that was the only sound left. I closed the folder, looked once at the room I'd just bought back, and walked to my car. The trust dissolved by court order 6 weeks later. My mother hired 2 real estate attorneys. Both declined once they saw the paperwork. Marissa's name came off the filing within a month. The caterer's collections notice went to my mother's address, not mine. My name was back on the title within 90 days. The group chat went silent for 11 days. My mother wasn't a cartoon villain. She'd been the load-bearing wall in her own mother's house, and instead of breaking that pattern, she'd handed it to me. My father called once, got as far as "I should have said something," then asked about the weather. Most weekends now, I'm at that house alone, and it's enough. For years, I believed being needed by my family meant I was safe with them. That party revealed being useful and being valued were never the same thing. My family had simply never learned the difference. A name on a deed, like a seat at a table, only belongs to you when no one can quietly take it back while you're sitting in the chair. If this reminded you to check whose name is on the thing you built, do it this week. Comment, subscribe, see you next time.